to welcome you in this debate, and we will be debating about joining Club 27 and about just living normal life. So, to begin this debate, I would like to call Prime Minister. You will have 6 minutes to introduce your speech and all your thoughts.
Okay, I hope you can hear me. So, starting off with our debate, I want to explain what Club 27 actually is, so we just clarify that fact straight away. So, Club 27 is some kind of cultural phenomenon that occurs when various rock stars or various musicians die because of their flamboyant life at age 27. Club 27 has become a street legend, a street club, a street pretty much very important thing in the cultures of many music genres like rock, EDM, etc. And I will just say some of the members of Club 27, which are Jimi Hendrix, probably well-known guitarist for most of you here, um, Amy Winehouse as well, very well known, and Kurt Cobain, the main vocalist for Nirvana. So, yeah, you might think why Club 27 is such a big and important and exciting thing. Um, People in Club 27 usually live very famous and very extraordinary lives. And what I mean by that is people in Club 27 have the best lives you could probably ever imagine in terms of excitement and in terms of pretty much what you do and who you are and who you become. And I could probably say with confidence that you become immortal after you join the Club 27. And listen to me because I will explain why. So your life is gonna be so much exciting when you will become a member of Club 27. Even though your death is gonna be so early, it doesn't matter. Your life is gonna be way more above average in terms of whatever you see, you experience when you compare it to just normal, pretty much American anonymous life living somewhere in the suburban area. Because when you're a star living in these decades that we're following back, your life is gonna be full of parties, full of meeting new peoples, full of. I mean, I cannot explain how crazy your life is gonna be. It's gonna be out of this universe. You're gonna go beyond everything. You're gonna try everything. You're gonna make such a great decisions because first of all, you're gonna be immortal. That's incredible. You're gonna become a perfect musician. You're gonna be known everywhere in the world by every kid, dreaming to become the star. Yeah, moving on. So I would just now focus on why it's way better than the average anonymous life. So, an average anonymous life is probably just living somewhere, not being well known, taking very modest average salary, wherever you live, pretty much. You might have a family, but you might not also have a family. And let's say you have some medical problems, your problems with your health. When you're in Club 27, you don't have to worry about that. Even you have money to change that, but you don't have to worry about any problems with your health. It's so much easier. And when you have average anonymous life, you pretty much suffer your life for like any time because you have to pay taxes. You have very bad house. You have really bad car. All of these material things are bad. But you might say, okay, but material things are not everything in life, and it's correct. But who says when you have average anonymous life, your life is gonna be better in terms of what's your purpose on Earth? I mean, when you're in Club 27, you have straight up purpose. You're gonna become a legend. You're gonna become someone well known that everyone loves, and everyone will remember. They will praise you like a god. But when you're average, when you have average anonymous life, you're not gonna be praised at all. It doesn't say you're gonna be liked. You might not have a love in your life, and when you're in Club 27, finding a love in your life is probably not a big deal. Same as probably finding friends, not a big deal. And now again, you might say, okay, but your friends are because you have money, you're famous. But I don't really think so because it's not possible that you're gonna be only person that's gonna be in Club 27. You can form your friendships and your loves around the people from the Club 27, around people same like you. Whereas average anonymous people can't really form these kind of bonds between these, same people because what are they gonna share? Like their boring lives? Come on, guys, it's not really about that. So yeah, our house believes that it's better to be a part of this club. I mean, like just imagine like people actually like created this club. Like maybe your life is high risk, but who really cares when it has a purpose? You truly have a purpose on this earth, and that's why we think that Club 27 is way better than that average anonymous life. And with that, I would like to end my speech. Thank you.
Thank you for your fine speech. And to the next speech in this debate, I would like to call the leader of the opposition.
Hi everyone, and today I will state the position of the how it's better to live an average anonymous life than being a part of the Club 27. So at first I would like to say that maybe everyone knows that in the Club 27 it includes some negative effects and bad things such as alcohol, drugs, uh, misleadings, and other negative effects which cause another problems, global issues. And what Club 27 mostly take from you, it's like experience. It's experience of the life that you can live in the future. They take from you the feelings of the bright colors and the true sense of the life. That's actually because using all those stuff in the Club 27, it's not a bad thing to be a part of it. It's easy to entrance there, but it's really hard to escape from there because Club 27 generally it's still your life, because even if you will manage to get out of the Club 27, it will take a part of your life. You wouldn't be able to continue your life without as it was before. Uh, and actually, another point is that the purpose of the humanity is to bring a life on this earth. The Club 27, 2027 can take this possibility from you, and you won't be able to see another another generation in the future. Like you won't be able to have kids, grandchildren, to share emotions with them. Uh, Furthermore, we can say that just imagine if everyone will be a part of the Club 27. We won't have any normal people around the world, which will cause the world a neglection, and probably also it creates some kind of crime in and it's from the budget of the country. You should invest money to reduce the demand on the Club 27, because some young people can look at this and be attracted on this. And on this position, I would like to end my speech.
Thank you for your fine speech. And to the next speech, I would like to call the Deputy of Prime Minister.
Am I audible?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So as you all know, Club 27 is I would, in my opinion, say it's way better than normal life, because in normal life you can be what you are in Club 27. You're not one of the famous peoples. You're not getting all the love and support that you would in normal life. And if you're in Club 27, you're able to do every single thing. For example, I can say you can buy like a really expensive car which a normal person cannot buy. You can buy Lamborghini, Bugatti, and all that. And then another really good thing that you can do, or sometimes you actually want to do but you cannot do as a normal person, you can say somebody is way smarter, he's so popular than you, and you can say it's your last birthday, you're going to die in class 27, but you will be way happier. And as an example, I can give a person who's really famous. You can just murder him, and you know you're gonna die at 27, so it's not a problem. And for that reason, it's really good to be a member of Club 27. And another point, compared to the normal life, there will be so many difficulties, so many. Like if I start counting, they won't finish. For example, you have lack of food. If you're married, you have children. They won't have good education. They won't have good shelters, not a good house. You have to pay taxes and do other things. And sometimes there are so many, you have broken houses, because sometimes you marry with the girl who you say, yeah, I can do anything for you, but in the real life you're not able to do anything. And because of that reason, many things can happen. And at a stage, you get to a stage where you will think so exhausted, and then you will have two paths: either start doing something bad, or go for a suicide, or the last option, if you don't want to go for a suicide, you will end up taking drugs to reduce the stress. You have to reduce the stress anyways, or you will have something bad, and you will take drugs and all that. So it's possible you die even before 27. So it's very in club 27, you have money, you have everything, you can fulfill all your wishes which you couldn't. And I would say you have a short life than the anonymous life, but it's way better. You can do everything you want to. You can fulfill your dreams, and and the Club 27 member would have way more money than the normal person. And even if you say Club 27 has like the members do really bad things, they're alcoholic, they take drugs and all, but yeah, their life is way better. They have money and all that. And even if you say that they won't be able to see their grandchildren and all, first of all, I don't think they're interested, because they're on a path that they just don't want to see their family, because family is the one who just say do this, do that, so they just don't care. So that's why he came here. They want to live alone with all the money and fame. And yeah, that's it for my speech.
Thank you for your speech. And to the last constructive speech in this debate, I would like to call the deputy of the leader of the opposition.
Okay, so I'm here for the opposition. All right. So first of all, being a part of Club 27 is not a fair trade. The usage of drugs is illegal in mostly all of the countries, and it is also and therefore it's a breachment of the law. Drugs usually lead to crime, and they are mostly in 100% of the cases involved with crime. And as these activities attract more and more people, they also result and promote much more crime. And as a result, the society is worse off. These drugs only benefit, there will only be a rise in the usage of narcotics, which is only going to benefit the informal markets. More people using drugs and drinking their lives away means that more people are going to die early. uh, Unfortunately, these so-called fun activities have a really, really negative influence on today's generations and children, and they will consider drinking, taking drugs, and violence as the new term for cool. And so, concluding my argument, and so as I stated in the beginning, it is in the end not a fair trade. People sacrifice their lives in vain. They will leave the world, and behind them, they will have left absolutely nothing but a influenced generation that craves for drugs, sex, and violence. That was my speech.
Thank you for your fine speech. And to the first whip speech, I would like to call to whip speaker of the government side.
Okay, now I will provide my analysis about our arguments and yours arguments. So I will start with defending the position of drugs and this whole phenomenon. I think drugs are just a part of what lifestyle is. Even the law doesn't says you cannot do them. Um, you can see that in California or in the United States, marijuana becomes legal, which means drugs are actually being accepted by the government because they form a part of lifestyle. You cannot take someone's part because they're like freedom. It's freedom for everyone. Also, you stated that all of these things can be illegal and they can influence all of the generations that are gonna listen and are gonna look at these people, right? But think in that way. What is the meaning of life of average people? Their meaning of life will be just looking at the person that has become a legend. But if you become a legend, it's way more. You're beyond any universe, you're beyond anything you have ever imagined. I mean, your goals are just way ahead of everyone else. You can be anyone you want. You don't have to care about your kids, you don't have to care about your health, you don't have to care about any money because you have so much money you don't have to even think about if you didn't have it. It's so incredible. You might think that okay, but what is he talking about? Because you're gonna die, you're not gonna have kids. But when you think about it right now, we have like overpopulation, so who really cares if someone is not gonna have kids? It's not like we're gonna die one day because everyone is gonna be in Club 27. We would like to be part of Club 27 because then you can see the spirituality and the meaning in life because you pretty much become a god himself. What I mean by that is that if you look at all of these things that average people live, there's nothing interesting about them. Nothing at all. You just have average life. You have your job. You have your children. You have your wife. You have whoever your partner, whoever you want. But in Club 27, it becomes way more important. You become some kind of role model for many generations in the future. And if you think about it, this life is way better because average life just gives you these normal things that everyone has. And we don't want to be average. We in Club 27, we are vaccinated against average. Average is not something we accept. We hate it. It's something like, you would say to someone that wants to, be the best in the world, someone who wants to be the best, they want to be the most famous, they want to inspire many people to get their dreams. I mean, you don't have to take drugs, like, especially. The Club 27, even if you die at 27, doesn't mean you actually have to take drugs. If you even commit suicide, you will just show people how strong belief you are. And if you even die, you will still become a part of our earth because everything is in a big loop that contributes to water being pretty much everywhere forever. So it's immortal. And to conclude our speeches, I would say that our side showed how incredibly exciting, crazy, and important Club 27 is, and how important people are to live there. I mean, if you look at the 70s and 80s, people lived crazy back in there. Life was so much exciting, even though we didn't have so much progress. We were progressing in terms of art and culture. And to include everything one more time, I would like to say that Club 27 is way more exciting, way better, and it becomes a new meaning of life. Thank you.
Thank you for your analysis. And to the last speech, I would like to call on whip speaker of the opposition.
Okay, thank you. So I would say that from what the government has expressed over their speeches is that their main point focuses on the life of the person we're talking about. So in this case, a person who is a part of Club 27 and who lives this flamboyant lifestyle. And while this is an okay perspective, we need to kind of look at the whole picture, what this does to society. Because what this essentially represents is that it essentially, well, yes, the life for one person, it's their deal, whatever they do. And it's their business if they die at the age of 10 or 100. It's their choice. But if famous people live a lifestyle like that, and essentially what that does is that it creates a trend for that lifestyle to be cool. Now the problem with a lifestyle like this being cool is that then essentially while musicians living a lifestyle like this is fine, other people living a lifestyle like this, it makes them less productive to society because, well, obviously people who take drugs or commit suicide or any other of these things essentially makes them less productive. Because if you look at it that way, that essentially it makes them less valuable to society. And if this trend like rises up and essentially if it becomes cool to live like that, essentially us as a species will be less productive altogether. Because I don't know, what's the point of living a productive life where all you can do is just take drugs and do alcohol? And what this also leads to is violence in general. And what these people don't realize is that by essentially oversharing the lifestyle and living such a flamboyant lifestyle, they are also inspiring other people to do so. And this leads to violence on a more massive scale. In general, drugs do lead to violence, and it's just kind of characteristics of them. And it's not even about drugs. It's just that in general, the lifestyle that they're promoting is making people less productive as a whole. And in general, I think that the perspective of the government is very selfish because they essentially their arguments only consider the entire problem as from the perspective of one person and not on the entire impact on society. that this kind of flamboyant trend of a lifestyle has. And this is essentially our main point, that while yes, for a single person, it's their choice to live a short life and not experience life as a whole, but live that short life in an exciting way. But the entire impact on the society is very harmful. And that would be our main point. Thank you.
Thank you for this speech and our debate. It will take me about 7-8 minutes, and I will give you feedback afterwards.
What's poppin', everybody? Another day, another breaker. In today's video, we will be debating about whether it's cool or not to join Club 27. So stay tuned, subscribe, and like the video, because at the end, we will be giving away around 24 night gift cards, so stay tuned for more.